Kia ora koutou whānau. Welcome to Big Hairy News on this wonderful Friday evening. Hi, Magenta. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Had a pretty good day today. Didn't have to go out.
Nice. We like a house-only day or a stay-in-the-home day.
It's been a busy week, so it's been nice.
Yeah. How was Parliament yesterday? I heard you
Oh,
had
it
your
was
fun
it was
times.
fun. It was fun. I mean, to be honest, it was both fun, but also like with what they were discussing, very stressful. Just so stressful. There was a lot that was not answered in question time, but a lot that was just infuriating and oh yeah. That's kind of what added to the tension by the time good old Judith decided to
Good
do
old
her
Judith.
weird thing.
Do her weird thing. I thought we already established that question time has nothing to do about answers. It's just asking questions.
Yeah, but like it's supposed to be a Q and an A, but it's really just a Q with this government, unfortunately. But
Sadly so. Sadly so. Well, I hope everyone's doing great on this wonderful Friday. Had a bit of a weird week with weather.
oh yeah,
We're kind of like seeing the end of summer, but we're also seeing kind
mm,
of the hot part of summer. We had thunder and lightning of all things.
ooh,
Yeah,
lucky. I
yeah.
love thunder
I
and
know.
lightning. To be fair,
I
it's just
like it, but
mostly
I don't
been
like it when I have to be outside.
muggy here. I don't know if
Yeah.
you guys have had the muggy weather, but it's been
Yeah.
gross, disgusting,
Surprisingly. Disgusting.
disgusting.
Disgusting. Yeah. Well, welcome to the Friday show, everyone. Shall we get into some quick housekeeping, and then we're going to get into tonight's news, which we're going to cover the Shane Jones and Moana interview, which I think we're all looking forward to because it was certainly something that I enjoyed during this week. Then we have Jenny Shipley and Eru Kapa-Kingi did their oral submissions this week. And there's a couple of stories we can either talk about. There was a new story about this week's Pride Pride celebrations. Chloe, our favorite person, Chloe's on the news having a chat about that continued story. Or we can go into some quick stuff about Health New Zealand, how they're stripping all of the women and minorities from their leadership team. Wonderful.
I love how very different those stories.
So
like you're giving people two very different options.
we can say, do you want to end on a little bit of a positive, or do you want to end on the negative? So we'll see how we get on, but we'll get through those in the meantime. All right, shall we? Two quick little bits of housekeeping. The store is back up. Oh, thanks, Magenta. I always forget the little ticker. The store is back up and running. The official BHN merch store. The only place where you can get legitimate merch.
Real.
None of this weird Temu stuff that's been stolen. How dare they? The Chewie Fufu tea. The bright orange. It is quite a bright orange.
If you're I love that orange.
I
definitely need an orange t-shirt. Honestly,
it's not my thing, but you know, that's why we've got it. It's for whoever wants it. You know.
Exactly.
Nikki No Boats is still there, and the classic
still no
boys. Still no boats. Literally, still no boats. I think it's been passed on to the third person. I think Winston passed it on to someone else. It's all right. We don't need ferries. It's not like there's an ocean. You just fly everything. And then we've got our buffer shirts, which is still the Tino Rangatiratanga flag. Flag? Not logo. Flag.
Yeah, flag.
Correct, yeah. Flag. Which you can get in all sorts of colours at the moment. So yeah, up and running. And I think Pat said that he's putting, if you buy any of the tees, you'll also get the respective sticker to go with it. So there's obviously quite a few of those. I can model the BHM boys. There you go.
Yeah, I'm not wearing mine. It's still not quite. Well, it's not cold enough for our hoodies. This is a thinner hoodie. I can wear this.
I've been at the ice skating rink, so I need a bit of bones always a bit chilly, even if it is muggy outside. And Patreon, sitting at 415, not bad. I think it was in 3 months we were looking to get to 500, but 415 is amazing. Thanks everyone who signed up for Patreon. And if you want to become a member, just go to patreon.com/bigheadynews. And then you can become a member, and you can choose anything from $5 a month up to $250 a month. It's just whatever you can give. But we also appreciate super chats. We love our super chats. Another way you can support us is just sharing our videos, sharing our live streams, talking about us. It all really helps out. So thank you everyone who tunes in. I'm just tuning in and having a chat. As you do. All right, shall we get into some fun stuff?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Shall we do a quick little recap of the week, actually?
Yes.
Before we get too excited. It has been a week. Okay. Monday we had 2 amazing guests, actually. We had... did we? No, we did. We did, didn't we? How many days ago? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I've overdone it. No, hang on. That's Tuesday.
Yes, we had
yes, we did. That was this week. Okay. Monday we had Jules from the Top Twins, I believe.
Oh, that was this week.
I know, how could we forget that?
How was that Monday?
I was like, hang on.
Damn, it's been a long week.
Amazing. So we had Jules from the Top Twins. I had to educate my partner because he had no idea who the Top Twins was, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And he's
That's
like,
"Wild."
I was like, "You don't know who the Top Twins are?" Conservative Christian family, obviously. You know, the gays are kind of.
Yeah, true. I guess so.
Yeah,
my grandma just really liked them, so I just.
Yeah, well, I guess in our family we had.
them.
Got some country music fans, so. So we had Jules of all people, which is amazing, and then we had Sunita from, who is AKA Coco, from
House of Flash.
Storytime. What is it?
Rainbow Storytime. Drag Storytime.
Rainbow Storytime. Thank you. Rainbow Storytime. Talking about Destiny Church being absolute assholes and their thuggish behavior.
Criminal.
Storming a library of all things because they were reading stories to kids. It's fucking dumb. So we'll keep an eye on that, whether or not anything happens, but cynic and Macy's now. And we also had the Eric Stanford Q&A interview on Sunday as well, which was very interesting. Very, very interesting. Tuesday we had Tamitha Paul. I love Tamitha Paul. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Talking about boot camps and some future stuff that she's wanting to do in terms of policies and things. And I love that she's saying that she's looking to do the policy work now, so as soon as they're in government they can run with it, which is, I love that. So good. So she's working hard. I love it. Then obviously universities are getting a funding cut. Not surprised.
Yep.
And the PM is happy that everyone's leaving.
Yeah, I mean, he wants everyone to go.
And immigrants are working three jobs to make things work. So he's living his best life. Clearly,
I thought they didn't like.
He's fine. He's sorted.
So. I thought they didn't like them.
They can't make up their minds.
I know, right?
Wednesday we had Simon Wilson talking about his article in was it the Herald? I want to say it was the Herald. Talking about how Luxon has very weak leadership and no one really likes him, and he's doing a really terrible job at this. As Chewie says, he's not very good at this.
No, he's not.
Really, really appreciated him coming on. Winston Peters was more xenophobia.
Yay!
Surprise. It's just up and down with him. And then fewer police officers today, which
also, yay!
What did we expect? Yay! And then we had just had a lot of weird stuff happening in Parliament on Thursday. And then obviously Magenta was there to recount live. Well, not live, but
Yeah, I watched them happen. It was, it was a time.
It was enough that there was an entire news article. It was pretty crazy.
To be fair, there was a lot
Um,
of hot questions that were there on
yes,
Thursday, so
yes, and then we talked about what's a word we can call someone when we can't use the word liar, which I loved.
we're
I
allowed to
love
call them
Kieran.
liars.
Mm.
Kieran's not allowed to call them a liar.
Well, are we allowed to call them liars?
It's
I
my
suppose we
honest
have to.
held belief that they are liars.
Yes, that's the one. We don't want to have defamation charges. And then lastly, we had the very sad story that government is missing the new child poverty targets, which
Lowered.
they lowered because, they couldn't meet the original targets. So they're like, oh, well, we'll just move the numbers, and then it looks like we might have been able to get them. Which, all in all, let's be honest, it's just a sad day when you have to start doing that because kids should not be in poverty. And I think it was Craig Rennie. Was it Craig Rennie? Last we spoke to him, it was. Oh, hang on. No, was it him? Yes, it was him, wasn't it? Who else did we have on? Someone was. I can't remember. Someone correct me in the chat. Was on to say that it would only cost a couple of million, 400 million, I think it was, or it was $4,000 a year to feed every child who's currently in poverty, to feed them every day for an entire year. $4,000 each kid, and I think it's something like a couple of 100 million, which is not that much. So it's really sad. We don't need to do much, and we shouldn't have starving
it's
kids
less
in
than
our country.
What is it? The 2.9 billion to landlords could probably feed kids for how many years? I don't know.
We could
Just
do
one number.
so many things with 2.9 million.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a weird week, hasn't it? It's just I feel like every week's a weird week though. Between here and Trump, it's just
we're
fire.
definitely seeing. Yeah, it just keeps getting worse. Doesn't get better.
Sadly not. Sadly not. Oh, and lastly, some personal anecdotal evidence. We like our anecdotal evidence, or we don't. I can't decide which one. It's either positive or negative. The household statistician has given her the last 2 nights or 2 days, 3 days. In fact, I think it's even 3 days of school lunch reviews. I posted it on Blue Sky. I don't know what it was. It was a weird maggoty looking mac and cheese. Questionable mac and cheese.
Oh, yeah.
Very watery. He said it didn't look that. I don't know what it was. He said it didn't look that bad, but he took 2 bites and he's like, "No, it's a 2 out of 10." And then he's like, "Actually, no, it's a 0 out of 10. I threw it out." So he took 2 bites and threw it. It was that bad. Blue Sky commenters were very did not want to eat it, which is fair enough. He said that the pasta was overcooked and it was kind of all just mushing together, which is not a good. It's not a good review.
Yeah, we can blame Labour for that one, right?
Yeah, no, clearly. Yep, and then there was the potato and pom-pom kind of thing. Yep, he got that as well. The photo I got looks like did not look like there was any nutritional content in that. I don't know how they're getting past the nutritional. No veggies, no nothing, just a sloppy meat red thing and then some potato pom-poms.
I mean, does it really matter about that when like the halal friendly meal is not even halal friendly? I mean,
halal friendly. What is that?
Yeah, that also too is like, what are you?
It's either
saying?
halal or it's not.
Yeah.
Both.
And
then he had lasagna. The first day he had lasagna, he said, not bad. I mean, we just made our homemade lasagna, and I'm saying it's top notch. But then the lasagna came back 2 days later, so he was kind of sick of lasagna. 2 times in 1 week. Yeah, so.
And I've heard some schools have been having the same one in like multiple consecutive days as well. So
that's
depends on where you are.
Yeah. No, that's what I said to him. I said, how long until the kids start to get sick of it? Because it's going to be those same 4 or 8 meals in rotation for the next term, at least. So also, I think they're getting sick of it now.
Apparently the vegan one had some beef mince in it. What? That's
I would not trust what I'm eating.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, like, I feel like a lot of these kids probably aren't going to be able to trust, like, especially if they have, so whatever dietary requirements, like, some people also aren't necessarily vegan or thing just by choice. Some people have to choose these diets for health reasons. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so some tough times in the school property. Let's beef mince or horse mince. Ugh. Either way, try is pretty
Oh,
gross.
not good.
All right, shall we go to have a chat with Shane Jones?
Ah, yeah, our favorite koro.
This is such an interesting interview. They clearly, the two of them. This is with Moana. With Moana. They clearly have a history of, I assume, like journalism background, or politics and being a journalist and a politician. Having a background makes this a very interesting chat because she's not scared to confront him and go, "No, no, mate, no. I know, like I've seen you in the past. I know you believe, and this doesn't sit well."
Yeah, well, I mean, like, this conversation could only happen between two Māori people. Like, no one else could. Like, there's just, like, to me, this is quintessentially something that could only happen between two Māori people because there's, like, we have a different way of dealing with things, We might not necessarily feel like we have to do the, dancing around shit, A spade's a spade, and if you're being a dick, you're being a bloody dick.
That's a good point. I never thought about that. Yeah, we don't like to stir the pot, do we?
Nah, yeah, it's that like trying to like namby-pamby around things that like I definitely don't love about the more Western system that we live in because it's like same with Parliament. They should be able to call people liars when they're fucking lying.
Yeah,
like you should be able to say like truthfully what is happening. Not all the spin that we get basically told should be how it is, because the spin is where everything gets confusing and where they lose the majority of the people's understanding and then they get away with crap.
Yeah. Oh,
anyway, that's a rant for another time, to be fair.
I look forward to it. First up, we just got a quick little explanation from Shane Jones, who finally defines what wokeism is. His favorite word. He finally defines what wokeism is. So really, really appreciate this. But let's have a listen to what he thinks wokeism is.
You set up the very first Māori unit within a ministry.
Mauri Whenua, yep.
Yeah, and what ministry was that?
Mauri Whenua in the Ministry for the Environment, 1988.
Back in the day, you said that nature was so important that the or should be used in reference in Te Reo. Was that correct?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just agree with it. I can't remember.
Okay, no, but it was a great statement.
Can you just explain that slightly? Or expand on that?
In Te Reo Māori, you have an a and an o. So, like, you might have noticed sometimes you'll see, like, taku or toku, like, for yourself, like, toku ingoa, my name, or taku. So those have different, they're two different categories and different things sit within them. So, like, the R category, say if you had, like, a younger person that was kind of more below you, that they go under the R category. Whereas your, like, elders, they go into the O category, because that kind of reverence more above you. I always got taught that it's A, you can put your arms down and make an A because it's below you, or from your generation and below, and then up and around because they are the ones that are above you.
Interesting. Interesting indeed.
So yeah, that's why some of the words change based on those categories.
So what is Shane Jones talking about here?
So that or is basically saying that, like, the reverence is given to the land because it would have been of the land. Whereas like with what he's doing is very much against that kind of reverence, and putting, the or there really kind of goes because it is from that. It is of that, and it has that respect, rather than if you used an R, it wouldn't.
Interesting. Thank you. Appreciate that.
You set up the very first Māori unit within a ministry.
Mauri Whenua, yep.
Yeah, and what ministry was that?
Mauri Whenua in the Ministry for the Environment, 1988.
Back in the day, you said that nature was so important that the or should be used in reference in Te Reo. Was that correct?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'll just agree with it. I can't remember.
Okay, no, but it was a great statement. So do you still think like that?
Of course, the importance of the environment. See, this is the ideology of Māori wokeism.
What does woke mean?
Woke means to find a particular issue that you do not agree with and then elevate it as the basis for explaining everything that's wrong in Māoridom.
No, it doesn't.
Well, that's your view. That's
No,
what
it
I'm saying woke
doesn't.
is.
No, it doesn't.
Yep, let's agree to disagree, to do anything.
I love that. No.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying it is.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
I've defined it.
Oh, that gets me so. Every time I've seen it now, I just. Oh, man.
So wait, he's saying that it's anything that you don't agree with,
Yeah.
and then just defines everything under that. I don't agree with
Yeah.
this, therefore it's woke, right? That's
Well,
what
yeah,
he's
'cause
saying.
then his definition would mean that everything they do that we is like it's like it goes both ways technically.
Yeah, it's anything,
like,
right?
Yeah, it doesn't.
So hey
make
guys,
sense,
I'm not a fan of mining. I think it's woke.
right.
Well, that's what Shane Jones thinks it is. So I mean, you know, I'm not a fan of mining, so I guess that's pretty, you know, I suppose it is kind of woke in a way, isn't it?
Yeah, right. And the throwback to last week's meme of what offends Klansmen easily. I mean, yeah, it was just
Yeah,
the
but
way he
I-
says that is just so. I mean, at least he says what he honestly thinks it is, because that is how they've co-opted that term. Like, it does have meaning when said by the right people, but they just, it's the same. It's like they used to just say snowflakes, and now it's just moved to woke.
Yeah.
Like, what was
Yeah.
before that? I can't remember, honestly, but they come up with some fucking thing to diminish or, you know, invalidate an argument. It's such a typical play from the right, really.
Was it gay? Oh, that's a bit gay. Would that
mean,
be it? But it's a
that
little
would
bit
have been
different,
probably
isn't it?
one of, yeah, no, I mean, that would be a little bit different. I can't think of what would have been like woke and snowflake. Oh, PC, yes, PC. That's it, politically correct.
Politically correct.
Yes,
Thank you.
there we go.
Thank you.
Fuck. Yeah.
That's right.
That's right, man. It's been a while since the PC days. Actually, I
know.
forget it now. But yeah,
that was a time.
Jesus.
Now we
Oh,
just
that's
have
so funny.
snowflakes and wokeism, and can't wait to see what the next one is. But thank you, Shane Jones, for finally, you know, PC wokester, finally defining woke for us. Appreciate it. Next, we've got Shane Jones, who believes that Māori ceded sovereignty. So I'm just going to play this wee bit, and then Magenta, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, because
yeah, this is my favorite part.
yeah, we'll play it. Don't get demonetized.
Now, Chris Hipkins told our show that Māori did not cede sovereignty by signing the treaty. The Prime Minister said that Māori did cede sovereignty. Who's right?
Well, the Labour Party.
No, that's a yes or no. Who's
No.
right?
Of
Right?
course the sovereignty was ceded.
What?
Sovereignty was ceded with the concession that property rights and authority over our own property. See, this is where you and I disagree. The notion that every hapu believed that they were going to be a sovereign microstate is fanciful.
The notion that hapu would willingly cede their mana and authority to a bunch of strangers requires a huge suspense.
But that's not what they did. They signed a bilingual treaty where one language says it's a cession of sovereignty and the other is the retention of property rights.
You're saying
And
like act
rangatira
now that it's just property rights. Individual.
All right, I'm a bit dumb. Tell me what he just said.
Okay, so he's trying to say that Te Tiriti being the bilingual document, that means that within it, there is basically, I guess, an argument that in the Māori text that we agreed to like cede sovereignty. However, tino rangatiratanga, which is sovereignty, is within Te Tiriti. We did not cede it. And then trying to pull in the property rights, that goes back to a lot of stuff that basically started really around the 1840s. That is just kind of a cherry-picked thing that people just kind of go to because it sounds good. But the thing is that Māori never ceded sovereignty. Also, we have actually, as a country, we have signed up to what is called the UN Declaration of Independence. UNDRIP. And basically what that means is that any country that has like a treaty or an agreement with its Indigenous peoples, you have to take the Maori one, the Indigenous language one. So technically, that treaty isn't the legally binding document to begin with, and Te Tiriti is. So, I mean, him trying to say this, like, to be honest, I don't feel like he truly believes that. I think he's just saying that because he knows that it's what, you know, he has to say to appeal to the people that, you know, are his voter base.
Yeah, it's quite. I feel like we're seeing that more and more with this government of not being honest to who you are and your own morals and changing things based on the voter base and getting more votes.
He also tried to play like the mean victim and be like, people just pick on me and Winston and say we're bad Maoris. And it's like, well, if everyone else is saying the same thing, maybe you're the problem, bro.
Yeah. Just maybe. We'll carry on here for a little bit because Moana calls him out, which I do love. Oh, she's so good at this. She does not.
I know, right?
Any leeway. I love it. So good.
Right.
You're saying like act now that it's just property rights.
Okay,
Individual
well, I'll
rights.
find another expression. I mean,
Is that it?
No, look at the language. They are rights, and we've developed those rights, which is why I really don't understand why you wokish types only want to talk about the Maori side of the treaty. It's Maturata said it's an indivisible document.
I know that you know.
But no, well, of course
I know that you know.
That I know what?
I know that you understand the context at that time. Everything, the discussion was in Te Reo. Māori were economically, culturally, militarily superior or greater in number. And it does not make any sense that they would have gone, boom.
Okay, so
he does know? So you basically just said what you just said. He knows, but he's decided to ignore it.
He can't say that he knows. And like Kai Matara says here, you know, he whakaputanga was acknowledged and agreed to first. So like we already had the what they call the, you know, grandparent document. And Te Tiriti is actually, you know, that one's the one that comes underneath it. Or sorry, parent, you know, and child. Te Tiriti is the child document. Also, Tracy Roberts here points out that, you know, even if we go based off his one, property rights so much as all property was owned by tangata whenua. So once their whenua was stolen, those property rights are extended to all historical whenua. Like, even if that was the case, those property rights weren't even respected nor kept because now Māori don't own most of the land. So, yeah, either way you spin it, he's wrong.
Yeah. The last wee bit, although we're slamming through this. Do we need to give him less?
Oh, I mean, we can talk through it. You know, sometimes we do have to, you know, especially considering he is so wrong. We have to, you know, make sure people know why he's wrong.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like he's been doing this long enough that he knows how to talk to his base.
Yep.
Yes. Anyways, the last little bit here is about what New Zealand First stands for. The Nationalist Party, as Winston Peters put it most recently, and what New Zealand First is really around for.
So you've claimed that your party is nationalist, eh? What does it mean?
patriotic.
So how patriotic is it for you to be selling New Zealand as a place where foreign companies can come and drill and dig and mine?
Yeah, so the whole history of New Zealand, even before the treaty, is foreign capital, foreign ideas. There has to be good guardrails, but I think there's just a stifling level of naivety for people who think that we can afford to fund the things in New Zealand without using foreign capital.
So,
okay, tell me I'm wrong. Fully happy to be wrong here. I kind of agree that we do need foreign money coming in and that we can't just run our entire economy within ourselves. I mean, we're kind of all in a global economy, right, at this point. And he's kind of right about the guardrails. But he
says that, but does he mean
he's a bit of a hypocrite, right? Because he's essentially allowing Australian companies here just to mine
Well, yeah, the
us
fast
and,
track,
you know.
the fast track bill is everything that goes against what he's saying anyway. There's also a bunch of changes that they're proposing, even still coming in now, that go against that. Like, he says things that sound all right, but once you actually look into what they're doing and how they're doing it, that's where the problems lie. And that's where a lot of the time they spin these things to sound good and to appeal to certain people, because, yeah, there are some logical sounding things in there, but it's really the details that they miss out that they're an important part. They keep it vague on purpose so that it sounds good. But also the fact that, like, he's just like, yeah, we're a nationalist party. I'll be honest, my brain just went like, oh yeah, what was another nationalist party that existed? Like, I'm pretty sure back around when my grandma was born, and my grandma was born in like 1939. So, you know, just like kind of just sparked off a little. But, you know, I'm sure nothing.
Something to do with World War II? Is that what you're referencing
yeah.
there?
And
Maybe?
it definitely has nothing to do with fascism. It's definitely.
Oh, okay. You sure it wasn't 2025 with Trump? It's not with
Yeah.
No,
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're just redoing it all again. I forgot.
50,
Sorry.
what, 60, 70 years later? Yeah, it's.
This is the
full circle.
remix.
The remix.
World
We had
War
1840.
2.5? Is this the patch update to World War II? Yo, let's go. Patch update.
We'll continue on because we love hearing about Shane Jones talk about his nationalist. He's got it. Let him talk about his nationalist party. Let's figure out what New Zealand First is all about, eh?
The things in New Zealand without using foreign capital.
Oh, that's
So
But we have to have good guardrails.
good guardrails. So even the Australian banks are pulling out of things like coal mining.
See, that's all this wokeism I'm telling you about.
That's your go-to word, isn't it? Are you just using those words because they've called you out on your inability to perceive the long-term risks, or maybe they know more about the lack of economic benefits in that?
straight up just calls him out.
Like,
Maybe don't do this because it's not going to work. Maybe they know better and they're just all pulling out of mining because it's not profitable.
I mean, I think this comment says it. Shane Jones is our version of Ted Cruz. That is so true. Holy crap. Now I'm not going to be able to unsee that.
I love that every freeze frame of Shane Jones just looks like this.
Yeah. Do you know what he kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of one of the fish from SpongeBob. The one of the flounder ones.
Yes.
He does, right?
Oh, I'm going to find that after this, but yes, 100%. Oh, wow.
No, you can't unsee that.
I can't see it now. Let's get him. Let's watch this. See how he gets out of this stinking hole with his
Stinky.
No one else thinks it's
Economic
profitable, but maybe
benefits in
you
that.
do.
The incentives upon the banks are largely the new climate regulations. And there probably are cases where banks are well entitled to make a credit decision about whether or not a particular mine is a good risk proposition for them. But those should be based on creditworthiness,
Can I just ask,
not all this climate regulation.
can I just ask, Winston will step down as deputy?
He also was the one who created the Environmental Commission or the Ministry of Environmental, doesn't he?
Yep.
But now he's annoyed because banks are wanting to adhere to climate change initiatives.
Because
And
that's
he's
too
pissed off
woke.
about that.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
because he doesn't. Oh, actually, I think he says it in a minute. I think. Is this the climate denial part?
We can play that for sure. He does
That
have a few
was
thoughts.
wild.
Yes, that is true. We'll just play a little bit here at the end, and I'll come back to the climate denial. She asked him whether or not David Seymour was going to be a good deputy prime minister, and in true political speak, beats around the bush. I love it.
Prime Minister shortly. Is David Seymour Deputy Prime Minister material, do you think?
I've got no doubt in my mind. Eru understands the burden of being the Deputy Prime Minister and being the acting Prime Minister from time to time. And I've got every confidence he'll rise to the occasion.
Do you guys get on really well?
Well, hey, we're on two different waka, but we're both professional politicians, and you shouldn't let philosophical differences that emerge from time to time stop you working together.
You could actually join up next election.
No, I'm with the Mātāmua, Winston, not going anywhere else.
A last question. How do you think Tai Tokero is going to go into Matatini?
Well, we always do well on the coral. It might reflect
religious.
our missionary heritage, which I never denigrate. But you're always going to struggle to beat the
Te Aroa.
Te Aroa.
Te Ora Matua. Ngā mihi.
Tarawa.
Can you just translate that for me? I didn't see that wee bit, but I was like, oh, interesting. Can you translate it for me? I'm sorry, I'm asking way too many questions today.
Oh, so he said following the Mātāmua, is that the part that you
yeah, just that.
yeah, so Mātāmua is like the first child, or like the eldest child usually. So it's like just referencing, you know, he's following the him and would never follow the other one. But yes. Also
so our creator of the environmental commission, Ministry of Environmentalism, I think it was. Shall we ever listen to what he feels about how he feels about climate change?
Doesn't.
Yep, let's agree to disagree. To do anything with the environment, such as mining, whether it's fishing, whatever it is somehow destroying Māori culture. That is a woke view.
There are lots of concerns around the environment, around your policies, and you kind of tend to trivialise those and use this word woke to kind of minimise those. But you're talking about, there are people who are scientists, there are Māori landowners, there are coastal communities. Aren't they important?
Now, of course they're important. But on many of our environmental issues, I do not accept that the science is settled. Science has never settled.
Are you a climate denialist?
I'm not interested in climate change other than adapting. This notion that we can...
Oh my goodness gracious. You've got grandchildren.
I campaigned on this.
What?
New Zealand First campaigned that best thing that New Zealand can do is adapt to changing climatic factors. We can't change it.
You just give up.
I just said we adapt. You know, one thing I hope you did...
Look, call me wrong. I agree. We have to adapt. But I do like that she's like, what, you're a climate denialist? You don't believe in the science? And he's like, oh, the science. But yes, we do need to adapt because we are one little country on the planet. I have to fucking agree with this guy. But yes, we have to adapt. But no, we shouldn't be giving up.
It's not the only thing. We're supposed to do both.
Oh no, I've lost Magenta. Or is that me?
Oh.
No? Oh no.
Is it you?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Guys, in the chat, which one of us can you hear?
I hate that. You're just like, who was it me? Was it you? Who disconnected? Right. Yeah, so I hate to agree. I don't fucking agree. I fucking hate Jane Jones. Again, you can't pause him. This is the face you get every time you pause him. But yes, we do need to adapt. But yes, we also need to listen to scientists, Jane Jones. And yes, you do have grandchildren. Maybe you should just stop being in politics. How old are you now? Maybe just
go be a koro. Just go be a koro, bro. Could have had it all. Now he's just like, well, this thing, he could have ended his career on a high. But now he's just slowly just like him and Winnie. There's why not end on a high, man? Go out good and just enjoy your last years.
I know. And who would want to... It's a power thing, right? They just... They never want to cede their sovereignty? No, hang on. No, sorry. Not
to be fair... They're more just, I think they just can't help themselves. I think they're just like, nah, this is all I know how to do now. I mean, there are some of those old people who don't want to quit their job, and they want to work into the grave. Unfortunately, their job just happens to be in politics.
And they want to put the country in the grave with them. Thanks, Shane Jones.
I know, right? Love it.
Well, yeah, there was a fascinating interview.
Very, very good watch. Frustrating, but good.
Yeah, he just needs to I don't know, just pass the mantle. Your time is done. You did such good things in the past. You did some really good things in the past. Just roll over, go and live your retirement with all the fucking money you've earned being a politician, and just be one of those people who just sits in the throne and gets, doted on. Instead of
have a good life
in the news. Yeah, go live your life, Shane Jones. Just go retire. Yeah. You've done your dash.
Do it while they
won't be
still
upset.
have a retirement for, while they still have
Retirement fund,
fund.
superannuation.
Yeah,
Well, we
yeah.
still got
Do it while it's
superannuation.
like this, man. Because it won't exist by
Yeah.
the time I'm there.
That's true. Did you want to add anything to the general discussion of
Oh,
of the
nah,
interview?
honestly, I've said enough. I just think it was, I mean, it was ridiculous, the things that came out of his mouth. But hey, at least the more he says this stuff, the more people can see what these people who we as taxpayers are paying a lot of money. Like, we pay this man. That dude, we pay him. So just remember that your money goes to people like him, and this is what he does with it. Like, that's really the main thing, is we can't forget that we employ them.
Yeah, I stopped working, so I don't pay taxes, so I don't pay them anymore.
I wish I could avoid
Mate,
paying
okay,
taxes.
no, I pay GST, so technically.
Yeah,
I do
everyone
pay
pays taxes. You can't avoid them.
I know. Self-sufficient though. One day, have my little solar panels. With my
Well, actually,
septic tanks.
should we go into some memes real quick? Because I know the first meme
Go
I
for
have
it.
on here is his party thing.
Oh, perfect
So
segue. Go
it'll
for it.
segue.
Leave it up.
So this was from Blue Sky. New Zealand first in xenophobic rhetoric, which I
Nice.
loved.
Nice.
Just a Futurama meme. Respect existence or expect resistance, which is what we will be seeing on Sunday. So, it was the fuck aroundest of times. It was the find outest of times. It really do be. This one, halal, let them eat ham, which is, whew, kind of spicy. Kind of spicy.
Jesus.
This is Kai Matata. Roses are red. I would love a mint. Let's make this a one-turn government.
Oh, what a beautiful
know, right?
Valentine's Day poem.
Right? Capitalism means freedom of choice. Get exploited, die on the street. Woo! Love it. This though. Party time. Excellent.
that is very,
Isn't it?
Isn't it so accurate?
I know, right? It's so accurate, Elon.
I love it.
My pronouns are he, him. I'm not playing into your delusions, ma'am. Gulf of Mexico. Ban him from the newsroom.
I did love that someone likened it. Like,
Right?
it's not called Gulf of Mexico, it's called Gulf of America. That's its new name. Don't you dare name it.
Not on Twitter, I mean X. And then Trump, clean up after your Doge. But
I love it. I love it.
Alright. That'll be enough for now. We can keep the rest for later.
I love a good meme break. We'll just get through some of these super chats before they start to pile up too much. Kiwi Burb, Shane is New Zealand's. New Zealand's. Why is there NZ? NZ's. Oh my god! I'm fucking hell. It's late. NZ's bigoted, paranoid Gooner uncle. Yes, he is. Nick Sol Deer for $2 says Shane Jones mansplains woke incorrectly. I love it. Tane says the answer proves he hasn't asked his mukpuna what they think. I'm sure they'll disagree too. It's probably true.
Absolutely.
Kubrick says, how many rangatira signed both treaties, Shane?
I can tell you that
he said something about didn't.
So, you go.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure someone near he's like, let me explain some history to you. So,
yeah.
He should know.
He does know this. That is the problem.
Oh.
He does know.
Okay. Citizen Gold, $5. Jones is only being picked on because he's wrong. He's being picked on because he shouldn't be. Just go retire, dude. Just
literally.
you don't deal with this woke stuff very well. Just go and live your life somewhere.
Don't make me
Cash in your
boo you,
paycheck.
Shane. I will fucking do it.
Rajan says, never ask a man his salary, a woman her age, or an anti-woke person their definition of wokeness.
I mean,
Love it. Kai Matara. They picked money over mana. Sadly,
absolutely.
true. Sadly true. Speaking of money over mana, treaty principles bill.
Yay!
Not
my
quite.
favourite.
Not quite the segue. But it might be your favorite. Eru Kapa-Kingi was speaking, did his oral submission. So I mean, we can't be too mean. But I'll do his second because I feel like he really has the final punch. But Jenny Shipley was one of the people who spoke this week.
Haven't seen her in a while.
I know. And so we were traveling, my partner and I were traveling in the car on the way to Wanaka, whatever it was last week. And in the car, oh, my headphones just pulled out. In the car, we were talking about, I don't know how we managed to get onto it, but we went through a history of the parliamentary cycle since like the 1900s, basically. Because I was asking him, like, can you just look up what Rogernomics is? I feel like an idiot. People say things about Tim Bolger and Rogernomics, and I'm like a little bit in the dark about the stuff. So we went through the whole history, and I'm like, oh, okay, so this person preceded this person, and this is what this was.
It's like a family tree.
I know, and I'm like, oh, I get it now. Now I know why these people are hated and loved. Jenny Shipley.
Yeah.
Jenny Shipley was the first Nationals' first female prime minister and also leader. She was one of the first. She formed one of the first MMP governments with New Zealand First, so Winston Peters. They only made it through. They were a one-term government, and that was when Winston pulled out and pulled out.
Gross.
A little bit too late. And that's when the government fell over, and then she handed over the keys, the throne, handed it over to Helen Clark, who was our third female prime minister, if I'm not mistaken.
No, because Jenny Shipley was our first unelected female prime minister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So she didn't actually win.
No, so it was kind of like, how like sometimes, like how at the end of Jacinda's term, she left and Chippy got the last little ride in the school bus.
Yes. Yeah. She rolled Bolger. Yep.
Yeah.
So
and Helen won.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for clarifying. This is what I mean. This is secondhand history lesson. So thanks, Chad. Thanks for correcting me. Anyway, Jenny Shipley. From what I could see, she was pretty conservative back in her day, but also progressive in some areas, such as LGBT rights and women's rights, which, I mean, makes sense.
It wasn't hard to be progressive back then, to be fair.
Yeah, it's the 90s, and being conservative was like she was trying to lower abortion rates, and it's kind of like the 90s was like she's clearly aged and learned a lot of things, and like I can appreciate that she's been out in the world and actually learned some things. So her submission against the bill was fantastic. Personally, I'm glad that she came out, and she was a little bit surprising. Yeah, I'm glad that she came out and said, "Fuck you, government. What are you doing? This ain't it. I didn't sign up for this. This is not the way it should be." So I'm just gonna play a wee bit of her submission because she's so eloquent too. I love it. I love an eloquent submission. That's my go-to. So we'll just listen to a wee bit of it. She's talking about she's really appalled at. She's really amazed at how far we've come, but she is not happy with where we are going. Essentially.
Douglas Graham and Doug Kidd, and of course more recently Chris Finlayson, who worked with some of the giants who go way back, even Vian Young, who had the courage to say, in the context of the treaty, the loss of the language is indefensible, and worked with other Maori leaders to bring recovery. And our generation is now inheriting the success. And that's why I take deep offence that where we are starting to try over the last 50 years to rebuild some credibility around this relationship, that we would allow ourselves to be diverted. And the degree of depth and anguish and division, not only amongst Māori, and I'm very conscious that my colleagues from Ngāpuhi are behind me, and my dear friend Miri, who I walk with together as we try and think our way forward in what the future looks like, as we learn from the past and let it inform the future. But as the treaty force...
So I love that she acknowledges that, what she was talking about at the beginning there was during her time in sort of the 90s and the early 2000s, or even before that, there were amazing Māori leaders in not only politics, but who do we speak about who recently passed away, who spearheaded te reo in schools and bringing back the language?
Iritana.
Iritana. I'm pretty sure she might have mentioned it just before this clip started, but those sorts of people that were really high up in Māoridom and sort of standing on the shoulders of giants, right? That's who she's referencing there, and look how far we've come, and now what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, which is still, again, surprising considering, as a lot of the chat is saying, she's still very conservative. So I'm genuinely so surprised, why she's bothered. Maybe she wanted to get some good press. I don't know. Seems random.
I don't know. It could be her coming to the light. It could also be her showing that she's changed. It could be that she's learned things. I don't know.
Could be a broken clock. Don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I think I feel like it's kind of the Shane Jones thing again of why are you going in this direction when in the past you were doing other things? That this seems really, you're just gone complete. It feels like there's two directions. You either go progressive and then you get to a point and then suddenly you've switched and you're just an old man and an old fart that should just move on and can't change their minds. Or there's maybe perhaps this where maybe Jenny Shipley had more of a conservative view of the world because of her, upbringing or the people around her or the situation she was in. Once she was no longer in perhaps parliament or, in politics, she was able to reach out and do different things and actually learn about her community a bit more and actually gather a bit more of a understanding of the world, perhaps.
Maybe.
And maybe that's where she's at now. I don't know. I can't speak for them.
That would be nice.
How many of them are Jenny Shipleys and how many of them are Shane Jones? I don't know. I'd really hope there's more Jenny Shipleys out there than there are Shane Jones, but it doesn't seem to be, sadly.
What a wild sentence to have to say in 2025.
Simon Hughes says, Jenny Shipley is in line with traditional National Party policies on the treaties issue, and there are many people who have opposed the treaty principles for different reasons. I think it's just I think it just shows how really, really bad this bill is. Poorly written, constitutionally a terrible idea. And it's not a fight worth fighting. I think that's just what it comes down to.
It's not even about it's not worth fighting. It's not worth spending however many millions of dollars David Seymour's wasting on this fucking thing. Yeah.
Yes, it is a fight worth fighting, and Kapa-Kingi talks about this in his shows in a second. But it's not a fight we should be fighting, I guess.
Or money we should be wasting.
Yeah. And there's just a wee comment at the end here, which is sort of goes to show where we are in Parliament, and she kind of acknowledges that we are where we are with the kind of government demographic that we have because of te tiriti, essentially.
Treaty such as we have. I think the question is whether this Parliament is capable of seeing this bill off, but encouraging people into a space where we bring this conversation back together, where we can value and respect difference. This Parliament is already a manifestation of Article 1. It is one of the most diverse parliaments in the world. Maori are more represented than the numbers, and that's a success of the treaty. No political party thinks it's electable unless it has Maori and Pākehā as candidates, and that's a success.
I would disagree. I think there's definitely parties that think they can get away with it. But
I'd also
that said,
say, like,
it's
it's also
true,
like,
right?
yes, but at the same time, our government has never, since we signed Te Tiriti, ever been set up in how it was envisioned to be. It is like the current government we have is a Westminster system that was imported from Europe. So, like, even saying that, like, I get what she's trying to go on in that, like, we have a lot more of a diverse government, and yes, that is true. We have a Māori party, but I don't really know if I fully agree with that because, our government, had it actually been established correctly from the beginning, would look wholly different now. So,
yeah. I guess it's one of the things from her point of view. She's seeing a success, but the rest of us perhaps are saying it's not good enough, you know? But, you know, that could just be her point of view, I guess, where she's standing. She's like, oh my God, look how diverse it is from my point of view. But we're just like, no, it's not good enough. It's still not good enough.
oh yeah.
So,
I mean,
still
this government's definitely
criticisms.
not good enough.
Yeah, exactly. Still criticisms valid, but I appreciate what she's saying here. I'll continue.
It's not in the law. We are living the treaty. People are seeing themselves in the context of the treaty. And my challenge to myself and all of us as we look ahead is to ask, are we participants in the treaty or observers? This bill.
Nice. I think it's just a nice, you know, are we participants or are we observers? And I think we should all be participants, right? We should all be participating in the future of our country and have a discussion, not just between ourselves, not just between parliamentaries, not just between bureaucrats, but between ourselves, with Māori.
I mean, just in general, people should be more active in terms of educating themselves about politics, trying to make other people aware of certain things. Like, there's a lot of things that we should be doing in terms of that, and try to actually do these things, because, like, obviously we have to fight the policy side, but then we also ourselves have to be knowledgeable enough to know what we're doing. I think that's why a lot of us come to this kind of community, is so that we can become more knowledgeable, because I think most of us can, acknowledge that we don't know everything, but we'd like to understand more. It's just very difficult to understand some of this stuff sometimes.
I mean, I'm the first to admit when I'm like, I'm dumb, I don't understand. Please help me. Because some of it is just a little bit big language for me, but no.
And it's done like that on purpose. It's made very inaccessible, and like there's a whole big conversation that can be had about the way our systems are made to be unnecessarily obtuse and difficult in order to kind of keep people out.
Yeah. The second one that came out this week was Eru Kapa-Kingi, our favorite person, leader of the most recent Hikoi, and is he leader of Toitu Titiriti?
One of the main
the organizers, probably the better word for it, isn't it? Main organizers, especially of the Hikoi that happened. His submission is really beautiful, and this is something that really stood out for me. He's basically saying that because the bill is drafted in a certain way or put forth in a certain way, which basically just completely ignored, experts and then the, Waitangi Tribunal and everything, just decided to do it on the whim because David Seymour's a cunt. He's saying essentially that he's forced Māori to participate in a system that does not benefit them. Essentially what we were saying about government, right? It's a system that's not set up for Māori, but for the colonizers.
Yep.
Me. The ancestors. The ancestors.
My final point before we get into the apartheid, do not get it twisted that our participation in this process gives it any legitimacy. Forced participation is not really participation at all. Realistically, we have little to no alternative options. Think about it like this. If you are locked in a burning house, of course, you are going to try and put out the fire. We have indeed being white-mailed into a discussion within a government, neither of which should even exist in the first place. That's the perverse irony of our reality as tangata whenua.
Just
Mhm.
you got
Facts.
spitting bars, dropping mics.
Hell yeah. I mean, and that's exactly it. Like, when I actually just learned like the history of like he whakaputanga and te tiriti, my brain just went, oh, wait, what? Okay. The legitimacy of that beehive place is starting to look pretty fucking precarious, if you ask me. Also, I'm not sure if you're aware, but this is Maria Mino's son.
Yes.
Just wanted to make sure we're all aware that our other fave.
Yes.
Such a cool whānau.
I know. I was going to mention her before as someone who speaks in really plain language, which I really appreciate. She seems to be. I think her and Kieran are two people that have really stood out for me that don't talk like politicians.
Nah.
They talk like normal people. And I really appreciate it because I kind of need more normal speaking people in order to, well, I mean, for the general population needs normal speaking people in Parliament to help us understand what's going on, right?
And also, a fun fact here from Kaimatara. Did you know the beehive was made by Māori put into forced labour? So not only did they force the labour to create the beehive, now they're forcing Māori to participate in this bullshit.
Wow. The more you know, right? It's worse and worse.
Sure does.
And the next thing that Eru Kapa-Kingi says, Eru, that essentially the government has opened the door to racism, which is very true.
What this process does give legitimacy to, however, is racism. It has given a platform to racist people to be racist and spout their toxic, shameful, and misinformed views on Māori. We feel those today, and they will reverberate across our future generations. For that fact alone, all of you who sit in government and enable these spiritual attacks on our people should hang your head in absolute shame.
Yeah.
For shame.
For shame. There are so many parts of his submission that you could
just watch the whole thing. Just
you should
everybody
watch the whole
after the
thing.
show should just watch the whole thing. Absolutely.
Yes, please. It's literally
like what, 5 minutes?
6 minutes. It's 6
Yeah,
minutes.
well, they don't get long. They don't get long, so.
But yeah, well, it's true. But he just, I don't know. I love it when people speak so plainly, and it's like, yeah, thank you. You said it exactly. I love it. It's
right.
Yeah, but I really appreciate him saying that the system in which this bill has been created and is being run through Parliament is part of that racism, right? They've just excluded Māori altogether and they're just doing their own shit, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, like, even just down to the fact of, like, when Hannah did that haka in Parliament, if we had set ourselves up the way we should have, that should be something that can be done. That should be a part of the tikanga of the House. But no, we have Westminster fucking rules, which says that they have to curtsy to the speaker. They have to, like, acknowledge him when they walk out the door. They, like, this dude, like, when you do question time, this dude, like, comes out and he's like, and he, like, walks out, bloody puts it down. And it's just, I hate it. It's disgusting.
The further we can move from that, the better. I agree. Yeah. Be nice to see that change in the next, hopefully my lifetime, but well before then, right?
Honestly, I mean, we're too close to it nearly being 200 years since this shit started. Like, it would be nice if things get better by the time we get to the 200th anniversary, but I'm scared if I hold my breath, I'll die. So,
sadly so.
Yeah. Should we have another couple of memes after that crap?
Yeah, I'll quickly acknowledge Gareth because he sent us a $3.49 late fee, so appreciate it. And it's great to see you too, Gareth. Thanks for joining us.
True,
and thanks
Gareth.
for paying your late fee, you know.
Right.
Gotta do the thing.
All right, what have we got? Get ready, everybody. He's about to do something stupid. Which really is what it's like with Elon Musk these days.
Why is there a guillotine out the back?
Why isn't there a guillotine out the back
I-
is really the question you should be asking.
I feel like it's an extra, but maybe I'm missing something.
Just don't ask
Just
questions.
don't ask questions.
Name a character who can defeat Captain America. Captain Vietnam? Oh, this is just funny. Just original image,
Oh,
cropped image. Just
I love it.
a dry joke. Are you okay, Pooh? Not really, Piglet. Everything just seems, well, pretty fucked, basically. Which I think we all kind of feel a lot of the time with the news.
Yeah.
Are you calling me a liar? I ain't calling you a truther.
What is it from?
That's Drake and Josh.
Is it big? Oh, yep. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the background. I recognize the background.
Oh, good on you.
Be kind of a cunt to racists and homophobes. especially
Okay, that
on
took me a
Sunday.
second. Be kind of.
Loading.
Just kinda. Just a little bit.
I like this one. Just when you go to pick a country on a little drop down, imagine if Aotearoa was just sitting right there.
Oh, wouldn't that be so
Also,
handy?
we'd be above Australia. So
Ooh.
like extra double points.
Mhm.
What's that, Harry? It's a man up shirt. It makes you invisible to hate speech. Good old meme from Tavlova.
Tavlova? I love the name.
Everyone must go. Which I thought was particularly good. And then we've also had so Tanya Waikato lawyer, she's posted these up, and we have some amazing Yu-Gi-Oh cards. We've got Tina Ngata, champion of Indigenous sovereignty. And then we also have our everybody's favorite, Eru Kapa-Kingi. Effect. This card
Yes.
embodies the relentless fight for justice, land rights, and Māori sovereignty. Once per turn, you can activate one of the following effects. Kaitiaki o te whenua, guardian of the land, defender of the people, he whakapūtanga legacy. I love this so much.
Wow, they went like full on with it. I love it. They even got the flavor text.
I know, right? Like so detailed. I thought these were absolutely amazing. Oh yeah, I got memed last night by one of the boys. And I'll be honest, I kind of love this meme. It's good. It's good. And actually, yeah, we might as well. This is actually our creation of the week from Kiwi Burb yet again.
Trapped card?
Yeah. It's woke.
Oh, it's woke.
Activates when quinoa and sushi are mentioned. Diverts school lunch funding to charter schools. Which is
I feel like
so
there needs to
insane.
I feel like it needs to be a Monopoly card at the same time.
Oh, honestly. Oh my god, we could do Monopoly properties of all the different. Yeah. Oh, dude, we gotta.
Oh no, I've opened a gate.
Mhm.
I've opened Pandora's box, haven't I?
Right.
Oh,
Especially
no.
when you're our artist. Sucks
Oh
to
no, I don't have
be
time for
you.
that. I don't have time for that. No.
That's right. Kiwi Bib, I'm sure, will help us.
I mean that David Seymour pick is
I
illustration
know.
is
Oh.
gold.
It's so good. I love it.
Jeremy Naylor has given us a $5 late fee. I knew that BHN is on tonight, but my mind was elsewhere until a few minutes ago. I blame my ADHD.
I blame your ADHD too.
Yeah, it's all on you, bro.
Oh, I just saw an amazing idea. Cluedo, who killed the economy?
Oh,
Rogers coming in clutch again.
One of us just froze, but that's okay.
Oh,
But
well.
yes, Cluedo, who killed the economy.
Absolutely.
I'm here for it.
All
I'm here
right.
for it.
Where we're going next?
We can either end on a.
You know
can
I'm going
either
to pick
rant-
Chloe every time.
I know.
I'm also
and so
gay,
will
so
I.
I'm also going to pick gay every
No.
time.
Yep. No. You know what? That's all I needed to hear. Although, to be fair, I haven't lined it up. And is it on YouTube or was it on TVNZ?
I've got more memes if you need time. We have more memes. I
don't even know
can
if
I can buffer some meme time if you like.
You might have to.
All
'Cause,
right.
let's be honest. I need a bit more Chloe in my life.
Well, this will actually be relevant. We'll share this one actually. This will be relevant because a friend of mine informed me that there was, and I'll be honest, this Reddit activity reminds me of our chat with the David Seymour as the example of a worst human. For those of you who have seen it, you might have seen Brian Tamaki as a shit cunt is the new joke. So there's a Destiny Church mega thread on r/New Zealand on Reddit, and you've just got all these people that have started commenting different versions of the same thing. Where's one of my favorites? Mods, I really, really want that Brian Tamaki as a shit cunt flare. Pretty please. They've created a thing. Hint, if you're wearing a shirt that says real man, then you're probably not. Real men don't need to wear shirts telling people they're real men. And then just a lot of people calling Brian Tamaki a shit cunt. And I just thought that was really fun because calling him a shit cunt just makes me feel good. And as Rajan says, that's not a joke. It's just a factually correct statement. That is my honest held belief.
Hey, no defamation over here if it's your honest held belief, right?
I mean, look at what he's doing to my people.
Yeah. Speaking of your people, Chloe!
Woo!
Chloe's here to bring us some good news about the was it the bashback, whatever it was?
Yes.
It wasn't a bashback, was it?
Yeah. I've forgotten already.
Let's just let her speak.
Yeah.
Oh, we can't go wrong with Chloe. She's always an amazing human being.
Trans Pride drag show in Auckland tomorrow has been postponed over security concerns following last week's disruptions by
Although that's really sad. But
Yeah, that fucks
fingers
me off.
crossed.
Destiny Church at the Pride Parade and drag storytime. But despite anxiety within the community, other Pride events are going ahead this weekend.
Yay.
And Labour's Shannon Halbert says the police minister needs to do more to ensure their safety. Here's Grace Thomas.
The effects of this
Also, the Labour MP, the Labour member, who speaks in this, I've never seen them before. So I think they're the spokesperson for rainbow communities, I believe. Yeah, a new fresh face from Labour. Let me know if anyone's heard of them.
violent intimidation by Destiny Church members last weekend are still being felt by the rainbow community.
They're absolutely devastated by the actions
Shannon
of
Halbert.
Destiny Church. They do feel intimidated, they feel unsafe.
Despite this, a number of Pride events are still going ahead in Tamaki Makaurau this weekend. Police say they've been working with council and festival organisers and won't...
There was a child.
Hmm?
Also, that's Ricardo. Looking good. Ricardo.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
That's a child there.
Yeah.
Like,
Heaps
this
of
is
kids
what they're
go with their
protesting.
parents. Yeah.
But this is what they're protesting.
I
It's
know,
just a
right?
kid.
Imagine, and they're just literally playing dress up and probably getting some face paint. Because, like, to be honest, Big Gay Out is such a cool event. Like, there's you know, face paint. There's fun stickers. There's a bunch of free stuff. It's like such a good community vibe.
Yeah, I just feel bad for this little kid. He looks. Look at his. Oh, he looks.
I know. He looks like he's got a pretty mean outfit on.
He's living his best life. Man.
with council and festival organisers and won't tolerate any intimidating behaviour or violence. But Labour's Shannon Halbert says the police minister needs to do more to ensure the safety of the community.
This needs to be treated in the same way that Mark Mitchell treats gangs. If a mongrel mob member stormed into a library, he would be highly concerned. I haven't heard much from the minister about the safety of the rainbow community. I'm calling on him for further action.
We reached out to Police Minister.
Any thoughts on why he may not have said anything, Magenta?
I mean, why the fuck would he give a shit about us? I'm not surprised. I mean, it is disgusting though, the fact that like, there's so many things that they're willing to comment on and talk about, but then we see like, and we saw how aggressive those people were when they were trying to get up those stairs. We saw them literally physically assaulting people. But nah, they probably shouldn't do that. That wasn't very nice. No, it's criminal, and we should be like, the fact that it's more just kind of about the story times and it being an attack like thing kind of just feels like we're still not focusing on the problem of like, we have seen Destiny Church not only go after us last year, what I would argue is pretty meaningless kind of, attempts to paint over some rainbows. This is not meaningless. This is not little. This is an escalation that is fucking concerning. Like, overall, is just very concerning. Like, I was kind of hoping that maybe, like, I remember making jokes over Christmas, like, oh yeah, he'll probably move on to the next target. Who is he going to go for next? I actually didn't anticipate that he was just going to amp up the targeting of the queer community. Like, not happy about it at all and very concerned, but hoping that our buffers and our allies will be able to just turn up and help us, really.
I love that umbrella, the buffer umbrellas. I don't know what it's called.
The rainbow umbrella.
Chewie. Yeah, the rainbow umbrellas that Chewie was talking about. And I definitely think that it would be an awesome way to shield and
absolutely.
be an ally.
Like, I mean, if there's, I mean, I've seen people do it, like we've had, like, I know there's protests that I've been to where we've had, anti-queer protesters, and people have just either raised their signs or put their flags up and just kind of created a barrier. There's plenty of ways people can help, whether that be bringing like a flag, or bringing just something that you can kind of use to just obscure and kind of protect the people that you're around, really.
I will continue on.
Mark Mitchell for comment on these issues, but he wasn't available for an interview and wouldn't provide a statement.
One of the events organised in Auckland this weekend is Defying Destiny, a day of queer power, a rally in response to the actions of Destiny Church last week. Green co-leader Chloe Swarbrick is one of the speakers.
It is a response to, obviously, the unfortunate violence that we have seen, but more than anything, it is about being crystal clear that the rainbow community will not be put back into the closet. We're here, we're queer, we're proud.
But the ACT Party has taken to social media criticising the use of bash back in the rally's posters.
It's kind of quite typical. So what I would say is that I think at this point in human history, I'm not really that interested in meeting outrage with outrage. And at a point in time when the rainbow community is so evidently, explicitly and violently under attack, that's where the focus should be.
Meanwhile, Tiata...
When she says she's not interested in meeting outrage with outrage, what is she meaning there? Just curious.
Well, his outrage about the words, like, not going to go, I believe for me, that's her saying that she's not going to go into that more, back and forth about, oh, well, I guess that those arguments that some would say are like more people being sensitive or whatever the fuck. But yeah, because I mean,
focusing on the issue at hand.
It's more about, showing up, and it's about resistance rather than, and also like, I just hate that rhetoric of like, oh, well, you're using aggressive language and I don't like that, and that's intimidating. There's pretty aggressive, intimidating language in the more, professional speak. Like, perspective is everything. Both of those can be true, but also when you have people who literally were physically assaulting people at a children's event at a public space, I'm sorry, but we're allowed to be a little angry. We're allowed to be a little vocal. And even if people are being assertive, that doesn't mean they're being aggressive. Because assertiveness and aggressiveness, often people conflate the two, because assertiveness is usually attributed to women and automatically correlated with aggression, rather than actually just standing up for yourself. Like, who cares? We should be allowed to get angry.
For sure. Oh, I don't want this person on my screen.
Two MP Phil Twyford has written to the charities regulator asking for Destiny Church to be struck off. In the complaint, he says the church has engaged in serious wrongdoing, which is grounds for Destiny's charities losing their tax-deductible status. Already, one of the people involved in last week's incident has lost their job. This afternoon, Pacific Media Network announced that following an internal review, New FM producer Bailey Palala was no longer an employee.
Yeah, I heard about that actually. Also, I've just seen something pretty fucking concerning. Apparently, Destiny has posts on their page telling people it's time to kill with pictures of kids holding severed heads. Where's David Seymour's outrage there? And that is exactly it, is that these people are clearly hyping up the aggression. This isn't just, getting mad and being like yelling. They're escalating, and people shouldn't be like laughing at this. They should be actively going, okay, well, what can we do to help? And I think that is what people are doing with signing that petition to at least try to get the charitable status away. But, these things that are happening are such an escalation that, I don't know, if anyone knows anyone who knows those people, maybe get them to go talk to their friends and go, what the fuck, man? Up to. Because this is ridiculous. And it is 2025. We haven't even had gay marriage for that long. And we're starting to go backwards again with this bullshit. It is just enraging, but also fucking disheartening. It's that right-wing bullshit that is really what's pushing it all, but it's just exhausting. We get a few steps forward, and now they want to take us a million steps back.
Yeah. The other story I was going to talk about tonight was the fact that there are no women in leadership in the Health NZ now. Bit of a sad. And
women
also,
don't have health, Ems.
It's
they
also
don't
part
need
of the article.
It.
Have a read of it on Newsroom. Have an article. It's called "Women Minorities Exit Health NZ Leadership Purge." I won't go through it, but this very last paragraph is something that I really want to share. So the former it kind of sits with what we're just talking about. Former Te Whatu Ora Chair Rob Campbell has a different view. It is certainly looking like a boys' club more and more, Campbell says. Anyone who thinks recycled male leadership is going to turn around a massively female workforce is delusional. They will not be able to mansplain their way out of this mess. That was just the quote that made me go, hey, there's an ally there. There's a whole backstory.
I mean, I know what I figured it out. I know why we don't need women in health anymore. Because we got moon cups, so all of our health needs, they're sorted. Don't worry about it.
Yes, no. Have you heard about this thing called a what is it? A menstrual cup? Have you heard about that? It's a lot cheaper than sanitary products. I wonder if you heard about it. Sorry, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm
white
surprised
man,
he's
so
heard of a fucking menstrual product.
I shouldn't be saying this.
Right.
Anyways, that's just one little thing in the article. Right at the end, it just made me go, they can't mansplain their way out of this mess.
I know, right? I mean, this government, it's just thing after thing after thing at this fucking point.
Yeah, but I'm back to our rainbow communities. I'm really happy that they're at least boofing up the police presence and they're making it a safer place, and they're doing their best to make it a safe place and continuing the events that they can. So, if you can be a buffer in those spaces, go along and keep the peace. Keep the peace, guys. Keep the peace.
Yeah. Go to the Sunday, organize it, or the thing. Also, if you're in near, go to the Auckland Pride website. All the events are there. Also, Wellington Pride is starting soon. Ooh. So we're gonna also have to bear that in mind. And I swear to God, I hope they fucking come to a Wellington event. I fucking hope they do. They can try me. But I doubt they would. I doubt they'd come to Wellington. They're not that stupid.
They don't have the money for that. They're going to start paying the taxes. Maybe they do have money for that. Before you get into subs, Ian Fraser for $2 says, please listen to Glad to Be Gay by Tom Robinson. Interesting. A recommendation. I have not heard of it, but I will look into it.
Yeah, no, I haven't either.
You got a few submissions to give the heads up before we head off?
We'll do our little thing. So we've got the next ones that are coming up. We got local government water services bill, customs levies and other matters amendment bill. That's not Māori, that was a spelling mistake. So Māori purposes bill. And one that I think everyone should look into, and maybe we'll be able to talk a bit more about it next week, because I've been doing some looking into the documents. The Anti-Money Laundering and Counterfeiting Finance of Terrorism Amendment bill. That one's got a few things in there that are a bit shady and may actually enable money laundering easily, so we'll have to look at that later. There's the Regulatory Systems Occupational Regulation Amendment Bill and the Consumers Guarantee Right to Repair Amendment Bill, which is a great bill coming through. And just obviously a reminder to everyone that you can write that you support or oppose. And I actually got some information when I was at Parliament on Thursday that actually, since, the Treaty Principles Bill, they're now finding that they are having more people than ever submitting on every single bill, which is something that we haven't really had before. And so there is actually a noticeable difference, and they're having to actually make sure that they're like, oh shit, we actually now have to make sure we got people to bloody go through these things, because people are actively participating in this process now, which I'm just like, yes, fuck yes they are. Keep participating.
Does that mean we're going to need more bureaucrats to do the bureaucratic process?
Oh, you mean those backroom?
Yeah, those backroom people. Those backroom but we don't have the budget for that. So who's going to read all those submissions? I guess. Do you just tick them and go oppose, and they'll let them more opposing? I guess we just end at the end.
God forbid they'll start using AI to fucking try to do stuff.
Please,
God, I hope not. But I do have a quick little bit of good story if we want to end on a good high.
Go on.
As well.
Go on.
So this one is a good news story that is hilarious.
This isn't a Valentine's Day gift. It's a wind turbine that has no blades. The wind turbines that definitely don't look like vibrators have been created by Spanish startup Vortex Bladeless, and they can convert wind energy coming from any direction. Essentially, the base is connected to the ground, whilst the cylindrical mast is able to live its best life and oscillates freely perpendicular to the wind direction, which generates electricity, utilizing something called vortex shedding. The technology, which is still in development, isn't as efficient as traditional wind turbines like this, but as there are no blades, they're safer for wildlife such as birds, they're lower maintenance, and they create virtually no noise pollution. They can also generate power at a rate 30 to 45% cheaper than traditional turbines. Go Skybraters! Do you know someone who'd like one of these? Send this video to them.
Yeah.
Skybraters! Oh my god!
I know, right? I love that guy. If you guys haven't seen him, he actually has a YouTube channel where he does good news every month. He does a monthly video. So Sam Bentley is his name. But yeah, I just saw this because that one actually came out on Valentine's Day, so I didn't see it in time for last week's show.
I would like to know where he can buy one, or they can buy one, sorry.
I mean, yeah, let's not get everyone too excited over renewable energy, am I right? That's some very renewable energy. There's also some funny memes if we want to look at some memes to finish off.
Go on, give us a meme.
All right, this one's coming.
Give us some memes.
Well, actually, it's the good old Labour team doing some good memes. So
yes, please.
We got some good ones today.
These are worth seeing.
What I'd say to you is, jobs must go. Good luck in Oz. Sail now on. You miss out. Then we've got. Is it picking place? What I'd say to you is, state assets must go to fill the hole in our tax plan. What I'd say to you is, evidence must go. It gets in the way of my ideas. Healthcare must go. We have insurance. So
sorry. The Wii's doing a lot of heavy lifting. It's probably I have insurance. Yeah, I have
that's-
insurance, so.
Right? That's some royal we right there.
Mm-hmm.
Free prescriptions must go. Medicine isn't nice to have. Freddy the Frog must go. Goodbye, Freddy. First home grant must go. Landlords need a $2.9 billion tax cut.
Pretty true.
I love that. I love that they end on the tax cut. Just chef's kiss.
Every time. Every time.
They're so good. Keep it up, Labour meme team.
Oh, I love that those come from Labour too. Jeez, they are hitting hard.
Oh yeah.
Must
Well,
have-
actually,
must have-
when I was meeting with someone, when I was having that meeting, the assistant of the person that I was meeting wanted to come to the meeting because apparently they're a fan of the show. And that was really weird to have someone be like, oh, I'm so excited when I saw you email. And I'm like, okay,
That's
all
cool.
right. Cheers. I guess, yeah, then we got fans of Parliament, yeah. Other than
I
Kieran.
mean, I'm not surprised. It also has this government must go.
Oh, that's good.
Everyone must go from this government.
Right? Oh, looks like we just got a super chat in there.
Jeremy.
$20, Jeremy. Christopher Luxon, what I'd say to you is, and isn't that so true? I thought he was going to give up on that
Evergreen.
line, eh? Thought he was going to give up on that line, but
He's definitely been to a boot camp where his PR team was like, you must stop. The new one is growth, but you can't say what I would say to you anymore. It's a dead duck. You're getting ridiculed for it. Please do not say it anymore. So I think every time he says it, they just count it up and they just slap him for everyone that he says, and he gets back and then he's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it.
I'm just imagining Luxon,
What I would say to you is I tried.
I'm just imagining him looking at the phrase, what I would say to you is, and you just hear, never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down. Also, there's a couple of funny comments that I've got starred here, so we'll just finish those off. I apologize for making you do art in all categories on a Friday night, because anyone who's learned it all knows that art in all categories are a fucking nightmare.
Language is fun, eh?
Oh, yep, totally fun. Also, I just thought it was funny. Trying to avoid hurting white people's fares is hard. I say that as a Pākehā. You're so right. And I liked this one. I hope we get a fix for this weird fascist bug soon. It's breaking my save. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. And also, apparently, fairies are nice to haves.
It's true.
And the top twins are Knuff. I had to have this one because it's too good. The double wordplay is just, chef's kiss. Good job, Daniel. That was fucking amazing.
Too smart for us, man.
Right? So good gear on a Friday night.
Love it. Love it. Oh, you guys have been an amazing chatters for the evening. Pretty sure I've now got to go set up an airbed. This is now my mother's residence for the evening. She's staying over the weekend. I think she's been watching the show, so hi Mum if you're watching.
Hi Mum.
Thanks everyone for being on your best behavior. Thanks. There wasn't anything.
You didn't tell me your mum was watching us tonight. Could have told me that before we started, bro.
It was more of one of those things of like right to the end. You just at the interview, and you're just like, by the way, this was your final interview, and you passed. Welcome to the company.
I hope I did all right, Mum.
No, you're wonderful. You're wonderful. Brother Monk says hi. Hi, Mum. Sweet to fam. You guys are the fam.
We the fam.
We the fam. Well, thanks for everyone for watching tonight's show on this Friday evening and joining us. It's fun as always. And hope you have a wonderful weekend. And enjoy some possible sunshine. I don't know. Weather's been a bit weird, but let's see what happens, you know?
Help us settle a debate, whether it be thoughtful or funny, even if we're all creatures of hate. It's a fine line that we're walking together. For better, push aside the temptation to berate. Let's take a note of the corners we stand in, as many points as the hairs chin chin when the news that we're watching is hairy. Knowing all the things that we need to be wary of. Like the rich have the hand out for rewards, while the many have to work out what they can't afford. And the rest of us ain't paying attention, or maybe have questions we're too worried to mention. Other media is still dwelling on trivial facts, vetting peas from the rice and the mice from the rats, and picking and choosing a warpath to run, linking ourselves with the hill to die on. It's gotta come down to a welcoming vibe, with an A and a self and a higher in mind. All heavily, neither this way or that, and will be analyzed by both Chewie and Pat. With the evil in the world trying to mess with your head, and you're sitting on the couch, you're thinking chivalry's dead. Each night, 2 nights, they're gonna sing you to bed. It's Big Hairy News.
Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And Pat and Chewie will be back with you on Monday from 9 p.m. Magenta, anything to say before we head off?
Nah, just if you're going to anything this weekend, go be a buffer for your Pride whānau, honestly. And if you don't have anything on, go see what Pride events are on so you can go be a Pride buffer. Honestly, that's probably about it.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you. We will see you next Friday at 9 p.m. And Pat and Chewie will see you on Monday at 9 p.m. for more Big Hairy News. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Ciao. Johnny.